Hi, I'm Luke and I'm tired.
Hi, I'm Tiffany and I'm also tired because it's 4 a.m.
And this is the ZV-E10
ZV-E10 Mark
Mark
II.
II.
And we finally landed in Milano. Today we're going to be talking about vlogging, but it's not just vlogging, it's also how to create an engaging vlog. Now, currently we're filming on the A7S III, but for most of this video we're going to be filming on the ZV-E10 Mark II. Great thing about this camera is its interchangeable lens, which means you can get more cinematic footage, as well as using a wider angle so that you can vlog yourself. And the battery comes from the A7S III, which means that it lasts for much longer than a lot of vlogging cameras do. So I'm going to give you some of my tips about how to be engaging with Luke, who's much more of a comedian than I am. But I'm also going to talk to you about why I would choose this camera over another one in the Sony range. I'm hungry. You need to subscribe to our channel so you can watch me eat pasta more often. Whilst we're having a lot of fun and it's a really enjoyable trip, I also wanted to talk to you about why we've chosen the ZV-E10 Mark II over, say, one of the other cameras in the Sony vlogging range, because there are a few differences between the different cameras and it's always hard to figure out which one's going to work for you. First of all, the ZV-E10 Mark II has an interchangeable lens, which not all of them do. It has a faster readout speed because of the sensor that it's using, and it also has the longer battery life, which for me was a real big must when we're traveling. One thing I really like about it that other people might not necessarily notice is that it's quite user intuitive and very easy to get to grips with. Usually when we're filming, I'm a filmmaker, I'll be the first to admit, I'm the talent. Luke is definitely the person who makes me look good. With this camera, actually, I can shoot myself, and I've been doing that a little bit on the trip. So if you're looking for a camera that works for you, this might be the right one.
When traveling and doing an engaging vlog, it helps if you bring someone along with you. Like this. I wish it was someone else, but she'll do for now.
Savage. Snack count, 7,000. So we've come to the Mercato to talk to you about what you can include in your vlog. And for me, it's all about purpose, because if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a vlog.
And our purpose today is teaching you how to make a vlog, but also to eat cheese.
To eat cheese.
Lots of cheese.
I'm basically here just to eat.
But also have a look round, see what Milan has to offer. I've been to Italy lots of times, but never Milan. But also authenticity is what I was going to say is very important. So whenever you're talking to the camera, try and be yourself.
He's never himself, don't listen.
I'll get her for that.
The other thing to keep in mind is brand sponsorship. So if you're trying to build a channel, it's always good if you can mention some brands, get their attention, tag them on social media. Maybe one day they will ask you to take their items away with you, whether that's Sony or Earth, or maybe both.
The nice thing about the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II is that it's an interchangeable lens camera, which means that you can put any E-mount lens on this thing. So right now we've got the 16-50 5.3 to 5.6 aperture lens on it. That's really versatile and really good for vlogging because it's got a digital optical zoom. But if I wanted to get something really cinematic, I might put on a G Master 50mm 1.2 aperture lens, and I'll show you how that looks on this camera. And I think you'll be surprised if you use an ND filter how cinematic and beautiful those shots can be. So it's a really versatile camera that you can get some great stuff on for all different types of filming.
So I finally managed to steal the camera away from Luke for about 4 minutes, and that's really difficult because if you know Luke, he likes to hog the camera light. But the thing about vlogs is you have to be funny, and I'm not sure that he is.
Yeah, my camera! It's mine!
In this scenario, I am the tramp and Luke is the lady. So at the beginning of this video, we mentioned that the ZV-E10 Mark II had a faster readout speed. Now in the predecessor, when you shot in 4K 24p, it had to crop in quite a lot because it had really bad rolling shutter. And so the crop meant that you could get 4K 30p. On the ZV-E10 Mark II, you can now shoot in 4K 60p, and it's using almost all of that sensor, meaning that you get a much quicker readout speed.
Tiffany, no one cares. I'm the star of the show. Everybody wants to see me. After some lovely pasta, I'm going to talk to you about video resolution. We have 4K up to 30 frames with no crop at all, full width, which is actually an improvement on the Mark I. Now at 60 frames, you'll get a 1.1 crop, which is actually pretty negligible, to be fair. And all of this is available in 10-bit 422 ProRes, which for such a small and light and affordable system is pretty impressive. So the ZV-E10 Mark II also now comes with a Cine Vlog mode, which puts black bars at the top and bottom, makes it look a bit more widescreen. And this comes from the ZV-1. So if you want to make your footage a little bit more cinematic, a little bit quicker, you can just chuck that on. And it also has some modes that will apply a filter to make things look really cool.
Oh, I'm very close, but I don't need to be far away to tell you that vlogs are about having fun, so we're gonna go have some. Goodbye, Luke.
One of my key tips for vlogging, as someone that does vlog a little bit myself, is that just keep bearing in mind the value of what you're offering to other people, because that's the whole reason they're watching you. They're watching you because they're getting something out of it for themselves, whether it's that you're comforting them, offering them advice, making them laugh. And make sure you know what your brand is and what you're offering, because if you don't, it can get a little bit muddled and you'll start boring people pretty quickly. We all know content's everywhere these days, so you gotta really be aware of what it is that's special about you and make that shine.
Let's go see what Tiffany's been up to while I've left her.
Hi.
Having another snack, are you?
It's quite hungry.
You are always eating.
It's not that bad. It's really good cheese, so I mean, it's really about how good the cheese is.
So much cheese has been consumed on this trip. When will it end?
So I've finally been convinced to sit next to Luke. I've been avoiding him all day, but here we are. So
Can't win them all.
So why Sony over other brands? Obviously we've talked about the ZV-E10 Mark II and why you would choose that camera from the Sony range, but why Sony?
It's dead simple for me as a filmmaker. Their sensors are second to none. Their lack of noise in the images at night are just incredible. And also the G-Master range of lenses I find are very high end. I mean, you've shown you what the 50mm 1.2 can do. I just think they're incredible. No matter, whenever I need to get something really beautiful, whenever she tells me to go shoot something beautiful, it's actually not me doing the thing, it's the 50mm. So those lenses combined with the lack of noise and the low light capability is just, that's why Sony.
And for anyone watching this right now, you're probably like, Tiffany, Luke, you went so serious so quickly. So here's a video of Luke dancing that I made him do after this shot.
What?
This is why I hired him. This is why we're outside. This is
Stop it.
Tiffany, you have enough shoes. You have enough shoes. Tiffany's gone to get shoes.
So one of my favourite tips about vlogging is the idea of keeping it short and sweet, which is what we're hoping to do today, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a really wonderful time when you go away, but not everybody wants to watch everything you do and every bite of pasta that you eat. On the screen, you'll see our bite count. It's fun if you make it fun for other people, but if you're not having fun, they're not having fun either. So that was a wild 24 hours in Milan with the ZV-E10 Mark II.
I never want to do it again.
He hates early mornings.
Joking.
But Luke, thoughts?
Thoughts on this camera? I love it. I think it's a really good starter camera for someone that wants to get involved in content creation and filmmaking, because there's not so much functionality in the camera that's going to overwhelm someone that's new to it, but there's just enough that you can start playing around with things. Like it's got log footage, for example, so you can start grading your footage. It's got obviously the interchangeable lens is great for using different kinds of lenses. So there's lots of stuff you can do with it, but as I say, it's not like an A7S III or an FX3, which is far more pro. it's like a taster. It's like it's going to get you started.
And I'm sort of very much on the friendly side of not knowing anything about video. And this camera is really easy to use. I got to grips with it really quickly, and the price point is less than £1,000, which for an interchangeable lens camera, with all the specs that it has, and the fact that it's Sony, so you have that really beautiful color science and the good filmic qualities that you come to expect from them, pretty solid. What did I think of Milan? The food was epic.
The pasta was insane. I know everyone goes on about like, oh, I love food, but the food, it was unreal. It was genuinely unreal.
It wasn't real, but I didn't have enough cheese because we're only here for a day.
Always this woman with the cheese. Why the cheese? She loves cheese. Did you know?
I do love cheese.
Love cheese.
Now, if you want to watch more videos of me eating food or of Luke just being Luke, then subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.